Good morning, children. All of you welcome to our EVS class. Today we are going to learn our 7th lesson, which is our earth. Name of our 7th lesson is our earth. Okay, what do you know about the earth? Yes, the earth was formed long years ago, and the earth is the only planet suitable for life. Okay, and children, the earth has large amount of water. Note the point, the earth has large amount of water. Around 70% of earth's surface is covered with water.
Hello kids! I'm back again with the Earth Show. Sit back and watch. It's going to be exciting. Well, here we go. That's our planet Earth. See how different it looks from the other planets. So beautifully blue. It's rightly called the blue planet. Do you know why it's blue? Because most of Earth's surface is covered by water. Surprised? Here's more surprise. Most of the water we have on Earth is salt water. Yes, the water in the oceans and the seas is salty. If both of them have salt water, what is the difference between them? Oceans are larger than seas. Seas are usually found where the oceans meet the land. We can say seas are partially surrounded by land. In spite of being salty, sea is the home to a large number of animals and plants and is a source of food to us. Can you see those lines of water meeting the sea? They are called rivers. Where do these rivers come from? When it rains, the water forms streams. Streams join together and form river. The riverside is called a riverbank. Riverbanks are very fertile. When flowing water of a river or a stream drops down from a height such as a hill, we call it a waterfall. This is a dam built to store river water. Most of the rivers flow into the sea. Lakes and ponds have still waters, meaning the water doesn't flow away. Lakes are larger and deeper than ponds. They are formed by rivers, streams, or melting ice from the mountains. Ponds are usually small and are filled with rainwater. Lakes and ponds are always surrounded by land. Talking about land, let's see what's left on Earth's surface. A plain is a vast and flat land. When it rains, all the water from the high regions come and settle here. This makes the plains very fertile. Plains are great for agriculture and good for grazing animals. It is easy to build houses too here. No wonder plains are thickly populated. Most cities and villages are on plains. Want to see higher regions? The land rises higher at some places to form hills. We talk about reaching the top of a hill. Why not peak of a hill? That's because it does not have one. A small hill is called a hillock. Looking for snow? Let's take a look at the mountains. When the land rises very high, they form mountains. Mountains do have peaks. The highest mountain peak in the world is Mount Everest in the Himalayas. It's so cold and windy up here on the mountains. Let's go to a warmer region now. Amused to see so much sand? Welcome to the desert. A desert gets very little rain. The strong winds that blow here shape the land into what is known as sand dunes. Deserts are very hot during the day and become very cold during the night. Cactus, a desert plant, grows here as it needs very little water. Camels are used for transport here as they can survive without water for long. Is that a part of a desert? Yes, it is. It's called an oasis. These are formed by underground rivers that often spring out naturally or through wells. We've come to the end of our show. Our planet is an awesomely beautiful one. Don't you think so?
Okay, children, all of you take your textbook. Take lesson number 7, our Earth. Okay, take page number 165. So let's start. Our Earth is round and shaped like an orange. It is made up of land and water. It is surrounded by a layer of air. Our Earth is round and shaped like an orange. It is made up of land and water. It is surrounded by a layer of air. Children, here you can see the picture of Earth. Okay. Now the next, water. As we said earlier, more than 3/4 of the surface of the Earth is covered with water. Large water bodies are called oceans. Seas are smaller than oceans. The rivers flow down the mountains to form waterfalls and lakes. Lakes and ponds are collections of water surrounded by land. They can be natural or human-made. More than 3/4 of the surface of the Earth is covered with water. Large water bodies are called oceans. Seas are smaller than oceans. The rivers flow down the mountains to form waterfalls and lakes. Lakes and ponds are collections of water surrounded by land. They can be natural or human-made. Children, next, know more. The largest ocean on Earth is the Pacific Ocean. It actually means peaceful sea. So children, our Earth is not even. There are many landforms on the Earth like rivers and sea, plains, mountains, valleys, etc. Okay, now let's learn about some landforms. land. 1/4 of the surface of the earth is made up of land. We live on land. Our houses are built on land. There are different levels of land. Land. 1/4 of the surface of the earth is made up of land. We live on land. Our houses are built on land. There are different levels of land. So children, we live on the earth. That means we live on the land. Children, now take the next page. Page number 166. Okay. Next, plains. Plains are flat land. Most people live on plains. Cities and towns are usually built on plains. Most crops are also grown on plains. Plains are flat land. Most people live on plains. Cities and towns are usually built on plains. Most crops are also grown on plains. So children, the land is flat at some places. They are called plains. Okay. Now let's learn about hills. So like plains, at some places the land is high. Okay. So they are called hills. Now let's read. Hills are high land. The weather in the hills is cold. Roads on the hills are narrow and winding. It is difficult to grow crops on hills. Hills are high land. The weather in the hills is cold. Roads on the hills are narrow and winding. It is difficult to grow crops on hills. Next, mountains. Children, the very high hills are called mountains. Okay. Very big hills are called mountains. They are often covered with snow. The weather is very cold on mountains. When the snow melts, the water runs down to form rivers. Next, mountains. Children, the very high hills are called mountains. Okay. Very big hills are called mountains. They are often covered with snow. The weather is very cold on mountains. When the snow melts, the water runs down to form rivers. Okay. Children, next, valleys. Valleys are extensive flat lands that lie between two hills or mountains. Valleys are extensive flat lands that lie between two hills or mountains. Children, look at the bottom of the page. You can see the picture of mountains and a valley. Okay. So children, now let's recall the lesson. Listen. So in this lesson, we learned about earth is made up of land and water. Children, all of you take page number 167. Okay, look at the flow chart. Earth, land and water. The landforms are hills, plains, mountains, valleys. Okay. Now the water, seas, oceans, rivers, lakes, ponds. So children, this is all about this lesson. Now take page number 164. Okay. So children, there you can see a beautiful picture. Color the picture. That is your today's homework. Color the picture with suitable colors. Okay, then do WhatsApp. So children, today's class ends here. Also the lesson is over. So let's meet in the next class. Have a nice day.